Have you ever woken up and felt like something was off? Maybe your legs felt heavier than usual. Maybe your balance was shaky when you stood up. Or maybe your heart was beating a little too fast, even though you hadn't done anything. You might brush it off. I'm just getting older. You say, but what if I told you, it's not your age, it's your morning that's slowly wearing you down. You see, as the years pass, our bodies become more sensitive to the choices we make first thing after waking. And yet, no one teaches us how to wake up right. We're left repeating habits we've done for decades, without realizing they might now be working against us. But here's the good news. Life after 60 can still be full of energy, clarity, and strength. You don't need extreme diets or expensive treatments, just a few simple, science-backed tweaks to your morning routine, and your body can feel like it's finally working with you again. In today's video, we're going to explore 5 common morning habits that many seniors still do often without thinking, and why they could be silently harming your heart, brain, or energy levels. If you stay with me until the end, you'll walk away with a clear action plan to upgrade your mornings and protect your health starting tomorrow. These changes are small, but their impact could be massive. And make sure you don't miss the final habit, because it's the one almost everyone overlooks. Yet it may be the most powerful for preventing strokes and keeping your brain sharp. So if you're ready to turn simple choices into longer, stronger years ahead, let's dive into the first habit right now. Habit number 1, checking your phone first thing in the morning. For many people, the very first thing they reach for in the morning isn't a warm glass of water or a breath of fresh air. It's their phone, before their feet even touch the floor. Their eyes are already glued to a bright screen, diving into emails, news, or messages. It feels normal, harmless, maybe even productive. But what if this single act done within seconds of wakings is quietly stealing your energy, clarity, and long-term health? When you open your phone right after waking, your brain is hit with a rush of information, words, colors, sounds, and light. It's as if someone walked into your bedroom and suddenly switched on a spotlight, started talking loudly, and handed you 5 newspapers at once. Your nervous system, which was in a calm, restorative state, gets jolted into high alert. That sudden shift triggers a spike in cortisol, your stress hormone. Think of it like turning on a car engine and slamming the gas pedal to the floor before the oil has even had a chance to circulate. Everything might still work, but it's running rough, and over time, that strain wears things down. In the same way, your body hasn't yet stabilized its blood pressure, brain chemistry, or heart rhythm after sleep. That blast of screen time is like flooring the engine without warning. A 2019 study published in Psychoneuroendocrinology found that people who used smartphones within 15 minutes of waking had a 28% increase in cortisol levels compared to those who delayed screen use. That stress surge doesn't just make you anxious, it's been linked to higher blood pressure, inflammation, memory decline, and reduced immune function in older adults. On top of that, the blue light from your phone tells your brain it's still daytime. This delays the natural shutdown of melatonin, the hormone responsible for regulating your sleep. Your internal clock gets confused, making it harder to sleep well the next night, leading to a frustrating cycle of shallow rest and daytime fatigue. The good news is, fixing this doesn't require giving up your phone entirely. You can begin by charging your phone outside your bedroom, so it's not the first thing within arm's reach. If you need an alarm, a simple digital clock works just fine. When you wake up, aim to wait at least 30 minutes before checking your phone. If that feels too much, start small, just 5 or 10 minutes of quiet, screen-free time, then build from there. Fill those moments with things that help your body wake up the way it's meant to. Open the curtains to let sunlight in, stretch slowly, sip a glass of water, or sit by the window and breathe. Some people find writing in a small notebook helps ground their thoughts. Others simply enjoy sitting quietly without rushing anywhere. You can also set your phone to do not disturb until a certain time, so even if it's nearby, it won't interrupt your peace. This tiny change, reclaiming your first few moments, can ripple through the rest of your day. It lowers anxiety, sharpens your focus, and brings a calm that caffeine and productivity apps can never deliver. And when your mornings start with intention, your health follows. Now that we've cleared your screen time, let's move on to something that seems even more innocent: what you put or don't put into your stomach first thing in the morning. Habit number 2, skipping breakfast or just drinking coffee. Some people say they are not morning eaters. Others feel that skipping breakfast helps them lose weight. And for many seniors, a quiet cup of coffee feels like enough to get the day going. But beneath this routine lies a silent risk, one that can weaken your heart, dull your brain, and gradually drain your strength day by day. When you skip breakfast, your body, already running on empty after 7 or 8 hours of sleep, keeps waiting for fuel that never comes. Your blood sugar stays low, your muscles remain undernourished, and your brain starts the day in survival mode. It's like trying to drive a car without warming up the engine or even checking the gas. Sure, it might move at first, but over time, it sputters, stalls, and wears out faster than it should. And if all you have is coffee, the effect can be even worse. Caffeine on an empty stomach acts like pouring acid on bare metal. It irritates the stomach lining, sends your heart rate climbing, and spikes your cortisol levels, especially dangerous in older adults with sensitive cardiovascular systems. Instead of giving you energy, it creates a sharp jolt followed by a longer crash. A major study published in the Journal of Nutrition followed over 30,000 adults and found that those who consistently skipped breakfast had a 21% higher risk of developing cardiovascular disease, with even greater risk observed in people over 60. Another study in clinical nutrition found a strong link between coffee-only mornings and increased insulin resistance, brain fog, and fatigue later in the day. Fortunately, rebuilding your morning nutrition doesn't require cooking a big meal or changing your lifestyle overnight. Start with something light and easy, like half a banana with peanut butter, a small bowl of oatmeal, or a handful of almonds. If chewing feels like too much early on, try a warm smoothie with oat milk, berries, and protein powder. The key is to give your body anything that signals, we're starting the day now. You can also make mornings easier by preparing the night before. Keep boiled eggs in the fridge, portion out overnight oats, stack a few apples in plain sight. If breakfast just isn't part of your rhythm yet, begin by drinking a glass of warm water with a slice of lemon before your coffee. It gently wakes your digestive system and reduces the shock of caffeine. Then, within the next 20 to 30 minutes, add a small bite. Even a slice of toast with olive oil or a spoonful of yogurt is a start. Over time, these small choices train your metabolism to reawaken. You'll notice fewer crashes, steadier energy, and sharper focus. And when your body feels fueled, your heart doesn't have to work so hard to keep up. But starting the day with food is only part of the story, because what you do right after waking up, especially the way you get out of bed, can mean the difference between balance and a dangerous fall. Habit number 3, getting out of bed too quickly. You open your eyes, hear the birds outside, and without thinking, sit up. Swing your legs over the edge and stand. It's a motion you've done thousands of times. Simple, automatic. But as we age, that one small act, getting out of bed too quickly, can become quietly dangerous. During sleep, your blood pressure naturally dips, your heart rate slows, and your blood tends to pool in the lower half of your body. When you suddenly shift from lying down to standing up, gravity pulls blood away from your brain before your heart has time to catch up. It's like turning on a faucet full blast when the pipes are still cold. Everything stutters and strains before the flow becomes steady. For seniors whose circulation and reflexes may already be slower, that sudden drop can cause dizziness, blurred vision, or even fainting. This phenomenon is called orthostatic hypotension, and it's especially common in adults over 60, according to the American Heart Association. Nearly 20% of older adults experience significant blood pressure drops upon standing often without realizing the cause. These drops increase the risk of falls, fractures, and in some cases, strokes due to reduced blood flow to the brain. But the problem isn't just the standing, it's the speed. When you rush to get out of bed, your body doesn't have time to activate its internal balancing system. You're asking your heart to stabilize pressure, your muscles to engage, and your brain to orient itself all within seconds. It's too much, too fast. So what's the better way? Begin by waking up slowly and giving your body a few moments to adjust before moving. Lying on your back, take 3 to 5 deep breaths and stretch your arms above your head. Then, roll onto your side and sit up gently. Let your legs dangle off the edge of the bed for a few moments while you flex your ankles and wiggle your toes. This encourages blood to return to the upper body gradually. Placing a bottle of water on your nightstand can help too. Taking a few small sips while seated helps wake up your digestion and signals your body that the day is starting. If mornings are especially rough, keep a stable chair or support near your bed to hold on to as you rise. And on colder mornings, warm your feet with socks or a small blanket. Before you move, cold limbs are slower to respond and can throw off balance. If you've been hopping out of bed quickly for years, don't worry, you can adjust this habit slowly. Start by adding just 1 or 2 calming steps, like the breathing or the pause at the edge of the bed. Over time, your body will relearn how to rise with steadiness and strength instead of urgency. Because how you rise sets the rhythm for the rest of the day. And when you rise too fast, your body may take longer to recover than you realize. Next, we'll take a look at something most people don't even think about in the morning. But skipping it can thicken your blood and stress your heart without you feeling a thing. Habit number 4, not drinking water upon waking. Most people don't think twice about it. You wake up, brush your teeth, maybe sip some coffee, and start your day. But what's often missing silently but critically is a glass of water. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is naturally dehydrated. You've lost moisture through breathing, sweating, and the metabolic processes that keep you alive through the night. Yet, many seniors go straight from bed to breakfast, or worse, skip hydration altogether without realizing what it costs their health. Think of your body as a sponge left overnight in the sun. When you first touch it in the morning, it's stiff, dry, and hard to move. But once soaked with water, it regains its flexibility and strength. Your muscles, your joints, even your brain work in much the same way. Without hydration, they stiffen, slow down, and become more vulnerable to strain and dysfunction. Dehydration in the morning makes your blood thicker and harder to pump, increasing the workload on your heart. For seniors, this can silently raise the risk of stroke, high blood pressure, and kidney strain. One study from the European Journal of Nutrition found that adults who drank water immediately after waking improved their mental focus, reduced fatigue, and even showed lower levels of inflammatory markers by mid-morning compared to those who waited or forgot. Your brain, which is made up of nearly 75% water, relies on hydration to jumpstart neurotransmitters and clear out waste. Without water, even simple thinking tasks become sluggish, and memory recall slows. You may think you're just slow in the morning, when really, your brain is just thirsty. Fortunately, this is one of the easiest habits to fix, and it starts before you even get out of bed. Keep a small bottle or glass of water on your nightstand. When you wake, sit up slowly and take a few sips before standing. The water doesn't need to be cold, in fact. Room temperature or slightly warm water is gentler on the stomach and helps stimulate digestion. If you find plain water too bland, try adding a splash of lemon or a slice of cucumber for flavor and a small dose of natural electrolytes. You could also set a gentle water reminder alarm on your phone if mornings are hectic. If you're someone who tends to forget, pair your water habit with something else, like drinking right before brushing your teeth or right after making your bed. For those who wake up feeling nauseous or with a dry mouth, start small. Even a few sips at first are better than none. Build up slowly each week until it becomes automatic. Within days, you may notice more alertness, better digestion, and fewer aches and stiffness in the early hours. This tiny act, barely taking 30 seconds, can be one of the most protective and energizing things you do all day. And once your body feels refreshed from within, it's time to turn your attention to something just as powerful, but often ignored: the sunlight outside your window. Habit number 5, not getting sunlight in the first 2 hours after waking. There's something quietly powerful about morning light, the way it touches your skin, warms the room, and signals to nature that the day has begun. Yet for many seniors, mornings unfold behind drawn curtains, closed doors, or glowing screens. The body wakes, but it doesn't fully know it's morning. And that missing signal, sunlight, could be one of the most overlooked factors draining your health, your sleep, and your joy. Your body runs on a 24-hour rhythm called the circadian clock. It's like a well-tuned orchestra, with hormones, brain chemistry, and organ function all moving in sync. But the conductor of that orchestra, the signal that tells everything when to start, is light. Morning sunlight, especially within the first 2 hours of waking, helps suppress melatonin, increase serotonin, and reset your internal clock for the day ahead. Imagine your body as a greenhouse full of automatic systems: ventilation, watering, temperature regulation, all triggered by the sun. If the light doesn't reach in, those systems lag, misfire, or shut down. Without morning light, your body may stay in a partial state of sleep, leading to daytime grogginess, mood swings, and nighttime insomnia. Studies from the National Institute of Health have shown that adults who receive at least 20 to 30 minutes of sunlight in the early morning experience better sleep quality, lower depression scores, and more stable blood pressure than those who stay in dim indoor light. Light directly affects the brain's production of serotonin, a chemical responsible for mood, focus, and emotional resilience. And for older adults, serotonin naturally declines with age, making light even more essential. The solution starts with something simple: open your curtains as soon as you wake up. If possible, spend your first few minutes near a window, on a balcony, or stepping outside. Let the light touch your skin and your eyes. No sunglasses, at least at first, so the retina can fully absorb the signal. Even cloudy daylight is enough to stimulate the circadian system. If mobility is limited, sit by a bright window while sipping water or eating breakfast. Pairing light exposure with another habit like reading the paper or stretching makes it easier to remember. For early risers before sunrise, consider a full-spectrum light box placed beside your breakfast table to mimic natural light. And if you tend to linger in dim spaces out of habit, try moving lamps or chairs closer to the windows where natural light flows in. You don't need hours in the sun. Just 15 to 30 minutes of daylight within the first 2 hours of waking can improve your sleep, sharpen your thinking, and even reduce inflammation over time. The benefits don't shout, but they build quietly every day you step into the light. And once you've restored this final habit, something powerful begins to happen. Your mornings no longer feel like a battle, they feel like a rhythm, a slow, steady return to vitality, one small choice at a time. So many of us go through our mornings on autopilot, doing what we've always done, never stopping to ask, is this still serving me? But after 60, small habits matter more than ever. The way you rise, the light you receive, the water you drink, and the thoughts you welcome in, they all shape your body's chemistry, your brain's clarity, and your heart's strength. What's beautiful is that none of these changes require money, medication, or massive effort. Just a little awareness, just a little intention, and maybe today is the day that awareness begins. If even one of these habits spoke to you, if you saw yourself in these patterns, know this: you are not behind. You're not broken. You're simply ready to take better care of your mornings and your future. So here's my gentle challenge to you: pick just one of these habits and begin tomorrow. Comment below with "I'm starting fresh," so I know you're with me. I read every message, and if you found value in this video, share it with someone you love, because sometimes A small reminder can change the course of someone's life. Thank you for spending this time with me. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel so we can keep walking this journey together stronger, wiser, and healthier. One morning at a time.